Fala aí, pessoal, boa noite, como é que vocês estão? Bem-vindos a mais uma live, mais uma entrevistinha aqui da Escola Rivers. Para quem não me conhece, Daniel Rivers, sou fundador e diretor aqui da escola. Muito prazer, muito obrigado para todo mundo que já está online aí. Vou cortar jabá aí, porque, hoje o entrevistado aqui é sensacional e vou deixar as apresentações mais para ele. E a entrevista vai ser em inglês, tá, galera? Então, para quem está com o inglês aí não muito afiado, para hoje, so sorry, depois a gente vai fazer uma ediçãozinha de melhores momentos, tá? A gente não vai botar a live inteira na íntegra, que é muita coisa para ler ainda. Mas, enfim, a gente vai botar os melhores momentos aí. Então, aguardem aí no máximo uma média aí de 2-3 semanas que a gente vai estar subindo. E sigam a gente nas redes sociais, que lá a gente anuncia não só esse tipo de detalhe, mas quando vai rolar novas turmas em outros cursos aí. E, enfim, mais detalhes aqui na descrição do vídeo, tá? Tanto só também o portfólio do nosso entrevistado, tá? A gente vai falar com ele aqui, mas enfim, vocês podem estar dando uma olhada no próprio portfólio dele. E, última saideirinha aqui, deixa o like, se inscreva e dá uma olhada aqui nos conteúdos, nossas playlists que tem aqui no próprio canal, que a gente tem muita aula gratuita, aula de Unreal, aula de Maya e muita coisa extra aí. Enfim, vou chamar rapidinho um camarada que vai ajudar a gente aqui na entrevista, que é o professor Rafael, que ele vai agregar bastante aí na parte de pipeline. Fala aí, queridão.
Olá!
Beleza, mano?
Mais uma vez.
Mais uma vez. E beleza, então, mano. Então, o Rafa vai ajudar a gente aí. O Rafa, para quem já viu aí nos vídeos aí, é o nosso mago de Unreal. Então, pensa no cara que vai agregar na entrevista de hoje, vai ser ele mesmo. Fechou? Então, agora, vamos transformar, ligar a chavezinha do inglês aqui, para mim, tem que ligar mesmo. Vamos lá. Então, Sir Siamak Roshani, I hope that I pronounced it right. Hey, yes. Man, how are you?
How's it going, dude?
How are you, man?
Good, very good.
Very
nice
good,
to
man.
See you guys.
Nice to see you too. Here's Rafael. I think you didn't have.
Hello.
Hey, Rafael, how's it going, man?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think Siamak is in a cave. I like Batman.
Yes,
you know?
I'm in a cave, yeah.
I like this. Looks like Dracula's place.
I can change it if you want to. I can make it more cave.
Whoa. you can control. Very nice. So Siamak, is this right? Siamak. Okay.
Yes, that's
Siamak. Okay. So I think everyone here knows you, and everyone can leave a question here on chat. Please be free. And please make a quick presentation about you, the company that you're working on, please.
Presentation from where? From the beginning, or it's a long presentation, 20 years.
I was born in.
No.
I'll give you a quick version. I'm originally from Iran. I live in Washington now, Seattle. Not Seattle itself, a different city, but in Washington State. And I started CG back in 2001. And in Iran, there isn't a lot of there aren't many tutorials. At the time. There wasn't many tutorials or stuff to use to learn, and how internet was pretty new, so I kind of had to use books and whatever I could do, read the help documents from different applications. There was no ZBrush. Then I started using ZBrush in 2003, 2004, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then I moved out of Iran in 2008, 2007, and I worked on a bunch of companies as an I don't know, like a 3D artist, modeling, texturing, whatever you guys call that. I don't know if it's a 3D artist, 3D modeler. I actually started with hard surface modeling and texturing. Texturing was in Photoshop at the time, or Windows Paint. Not Paint, I'm kidding. But yeah, so. Then moving forward, I worked for several VFX companies, toy companies, freelance, in-house. I did everything. And the first actually print I did, this was back in 2005, I think. There was no 3D printing at the time.
Yeah.
And I worked with a company called First for Figures, and this is beginning of my career. Yeah, Alex is the owner. He's a friend of mine. I know him for a long time, and he's doing some amazing stuff now. But in the beginning, that was the beginning. So that was the first time I saw my character got printed, and then, it's funny. It's 17 years ago, 16 years ago. And moving forward again, I moved to US after that, and before I moved to US, I worked with a bunch of companies, Real Time UK, Plastic Bags, some random other companies to do characters for cinematics, some freelance projects for games. And then I moved to US. I went to Florida. I worked for a company in Florida as a character artist or senior character artist. When I say character artist, it's all like I started as a senior character artist, but I don't really care about the title of the senior or whatever. It doesn't matter.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I just say character artist because I'm an artist.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went there and I worked on a game. I worked on Borderland, and then I moved out of Florida. I went to San Francisco. I worked at Ubisoft, and then I worked at the Sledgehammer on Call of Duty World War II. And then I moved to Seattle. I worked on Ghost of Tsushima as a lead character artist. And then when I finished it, I left that company, and now I work as an independent contractor. I'm working on a game actually with a company. It's an amazing game. It's a lot of fun. And besides that, I teach and I make podcasts like you guys.
yeah. I love your podcast.
Thanks, man. So yeah, I that's pretty much everything quickly, So I can give you more details based on the questions.
Sure. Yeah. Let's talk. Very, very, very nice. So I think the most important thing of this live that I want to make a lot of questions about this. It's about pipeline. The thing that most called me attention on your videos, on your podcast, it's how you know how the whole process, and me, Rafael too. And I think that's because we started at 2010. You are previous about that. You are 2001. You mentioned, and I think I think the fellows who started very in the past need to know the whole process. The sense for modeling, texture, and rigging.
No, I didn't know. I actually did rigging, but that was like more of a fun thing because at the time there was no ZBrush, right? All the applications were kind of less complicated, and you could have time to do modeling because it was only box modeling and nerves modeling. Pretty much nerves was used for animations and box modeling for which we call it poly modeling now. It was called box modeling at the time because you pick the box and then turn it. And planes also, yes. And so I did rigging and some scripting at the time, but that was then I switched because I was trying to figure out what do I want to do. I wasn't sure exactly what I want to do, and then I focused on 3D modeling and characters, and I focused on characters mostly because I couldn't get a job as a character artist. There was nothing like a character artist, really. It was only 3D modeler, right? And then ZBrush changed the game completely.
Yeah. When you said that you are a 3D artist, you are giving the whole process about environment. Now we have prop modeler, environment modeler, character modeler.
Yeah, because it's more complicated. It takes time to make these assets. You can't. In the past when for example, Max Payne came out. I think it was year 2000 or 2001. I don't remember. From Remedy, it was a great game, right? And then Mafia in 2003. And if you look at those games, it was amazing at the time, but the characters were just just boxes. Or if you look at the desks or stuff around the environment, props around the environment, they were just pieces of boxes. I mean, you could just make a desk with 5 extrude. Now it's like you have to make everything. You have to make the knob. You have to make the drawers, each one, and it's for the chamfer, bevel, and things like that. So
box modeling makes a whole lot of sense back there, right?
Yeah. Not anymore now. Now it's Z-modeler modeling. I don't use. I pretty much model everything now in ZBrush. Everything, high res, low res.
Let me ask you something. As an independent contractor, do you feel or understand a big change when you talk about how to work in a big company, a big production? Do you have more specialized kind of work when you work in another?
Oh no, it's the same. So the story is complicated because I don't want to share the full story about this because I want to keep it private. But I work with a great team. I worked with them in the past, and they started a new studio, and I work with them now. And as an independent contractor, it just happened to be independent first. I was about to go there full time, then it changed, but nothing changed for me. I mean, I don't really look at the independent or full time or whatever. It's just, that's corporation title,
It's
or
business,
it's business, right? I care about doing my work and do it as good as I can, and that's it. And I have the same responsibilities as before. It's nothing has changed.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel the same way about being a free contractor or full-time job.
I mean, freelance is different. Like if you work as a freelancer on let's say game cinematic, you just do one character and you pretty have nothing to say. You just do the character and that's it.
Yeah.
They give you a concept. And now it's not the same this way. I mean, if I feel something is not good or something is missing, I try to share it, and it's a teamwork regardless, because we are working on the same product. So it has to be done the best way possible. So the teamwork attitude is the same. If I get feedback, it's the same. If there's a meeting, I'm in a meeting. If there's, it's just teamwork because we are working on the same product. But independent, the contract is different, right? Benefits and the way I work, and sometimes I work on weekends because so what? I mean, if I enjoy it, I do it on weekends. That's the good thing of working from home,
Yeah, and you love what you work on. That's I think me and Rafael, we have this kind of philosophy that we love so much what we work on. That's like a hobby and a work, and that's like an entertainment.
You get bored and you go to study or something, or start a new project. So.
Yeah, I mean, my study right now is pretty much when I teach. I started teaching like last year because of pandemic has started. And then I was doing YouTube videos, and people asked me, "Do you teach?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I was planning before that to teach, but this was a good reason to start. And I think I'm having a lot of fun with it because it's a different way of doing the work, Like when I pick a student and teach him, and he improves and makes a great character, I feel I get the same satisfaction, when I do it for myself. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Or sometimes even more because I help someone to do it. So it's a bit different, but I really have fun with teaching.
Teaching is beautiful,
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a question here for Casp.
A bunch of questions. How do you feel I started working in one of the biggest actual games talking about?
God of War and Ghost of Tsushima.
I didn't work on God of War. I worked on Ghost of Tsushima.
I think he's mentioned on comparing. You worked on big games like God of War.
It was fun to work on the game, right? So the thing is, how do I say this? Because it was a great project. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of stress. It was a lot of teamwork. It was a lot of challenges. It wasn't easy, right? So when you're in that environment, it's not about how do I feel. Sometimes I wanted to quit. Sometimes I didn't want to do it. Sometimes I wanted to do more because it depends on the situation, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't know it's going to be big when I joined, working on that game.
Yeah.
I had no idea what it's going to be. Who knew, right? But we did the best. And then when I finished my work, I never actually stick around in one place more than 2 years, to be honest with you, full time. This independent contractor job, it's different because I work from home, so it's very different. I can manage time better. There's no traffic. There's no stress. Pretty much no stress. I can tell you that. I think it's the best experience I have had so far in the past 20 years. But yeah, how did I feel? I don't know what to say. I don't want to say I didn't have any feelings, because feelings come and go, right? Yeah. It's always good when you join a company, a big company, like Sony. But it's like this, I'll tell you, like nothing stays the same forever. Like the feeling of it, maybe it was good for the first, 2 months. And then after that, it's just a job. It changes, right? The real game when you play this like when I say game, I'm not talking about video games. I'm talking about working and being in a professional environment. The real test is when you pass the 2-3 months, and then you can see how far you can push, how far you can keep it, because it's not going to always be fun. There's times that you can't enjoy the work. There are times that you're not doing what you love to do because it's production, and you have to work on anything you can when you're in a team to deliver the project, right? So it's not always doom and gloom. There's like hell and heaven at the same time. Depends on the situation.
No, I understand. Now I understand the Black Sabbath name.
Yeah, and the game industry is very stressful. I can tell you that, right? Everyone knows about it. Imagine like you're going to work on a product for 3 years, 4 years, and you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to sell. You don't know if people are going to like it. You don't know how this company or the studios are going to react after they ship the game. Are they going to lay off people? Are they going to improve salaries? Are they going to give better benefits? Are they going to change and become more egoistic and make you run away because they think that they can hire anyone they want now since they've made the best project, so you can leave? So there's a lot of unknown, right? Game industry is not a safe industry. There's a lot of risks, and it's not easy. But you have to. I mean, I'm in this since a long time ago. I can't just move on. So I have to deal with like any other jobs, right? Like if you do woodworking, there's a chance that you're going to cut your fingers and lose your fingers. Does it mean a woodworker should leave woodworking? I have seen videos. I started woodworking recently. That's why I'm talking about it. Or musicians lose their hearing, right? So, like Beethoven. It's just like any other job. You just have to figure out how much stamina you have and how long you can keep in the game and, push forward.
Well, it's still a job, right? So
it's a job, The misconception people have is, and no one talks about it because everyone is like, I love what I do and everything is great. Yeah, everything is great, but like anything else in life, there is a stress, there is anxiety, there is good times, there is bad times. It's not always like, oh, I work for this studio and it's the best. I make this game. It's so much fun. I mean, I don't know, like the same people that are like so eager about working in the studios, when the time comes and they have to work crunch for 14 hours, then it's going to change. Human behavior is changing on the moment based on the situation and the environment you're in, right? So, I mean,
totally. And one of the best feelings is about to release a game, so you can sleep one night at peace. That's done.
Yeah.
Good or bad, it's finished.
Yeah, I was left before the release, so that's that.
And I think I have a important question right now.
There's a question,
Yes. I hope that is going to have enough time.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm taking a break so we can do this, and then I'm going to get back to work after this. It's fine. I can manage my time. If I have to work, I'll work at night. So don't worry about it.
Thank you. The question is about a lot of students ask me, what's the difference between a senior character artist or a lead character artist or an art director? Can you talk a little about this? What that lead character artists do?
Did someone ask this question now?
Yeah. Did I predict
so there's a video. I think people should watch it. I made it. Okay. It's one of my first videos about character art. I will share it with the people if they want, but I'm gonna explain now. Let me share that video because I share a lot of information that I may not remember all of it here.
Your videos are awesome, man.
Thanks, man.
The part 1 and 2 about the whole process of making a character. I watched it. I think more than 10 times.
That's one of them. Yes, I mean it's very straight to the point.
And you make a program that's very easier to understand.
Yeah. That's why I made that. Let me actually quickly share this, and I'm going to explain to you. I'm just trying to find the video. Hold on a second.
Okay, you are going to put on your webcam as you did.
I can do that, or I can share it in the link so people can click on it whenever they want to.
That's up to you. He's a magician. He can put a video on his webcam. I don't know how he do this. It's very.
This is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking
yeah,
about.
Man, what
Let me share this. No, it's I have a complicated setup here. If I show it to you, I don't know if I have a picture now to show it.
I'm in love with your chair. Your chair, it's very nice.
Thank you. I might actually have to change it because the legs are breaking, but I might actually fix it myself. I'm not going to change it.
It's because it doesn't have a gamer setup, so it's a more to a classical setup,
Maybe, yeah. So how do I put this in the chat? Should I put it in private and you're going to share it with them?
Sure.
Because I don't see an option.
Okay. So people, I'm sharing in the chat.
Yep.
I hope that you guys can click it. So it's about a video that he's mentioned. This one is about explaining the lead character process.
It's explaining everything about character artists and all that. But yeah, so here's the thing. So we have associate character artist, junior, mid-level, senior, and some studios have senior, expert, senior 2, senior X, senior 5, whatever. And then there is a lead character artist. There is supervisors.
My question is more focused on the lead.
Lead is so it depends, right? So lead is some studios actually don't care if the lead knows much about character, like if they can do good artwork and so on. But from my experience, what I realized is having a lead who understands art and knows how to make characters, like high quality characters, understands how to solve problems and deal with technical situations. That's important. But some studios are like, it doesn't matter. Lead should only manage, which I don't agree with. And it's very simple, because if you don't have experience on something, you can't really manage it the best way. And maybe that's why some places they are failing on the management side, because they don't understand the artists, they don't understand the production, on the technical side of it. And the lead is just, being a manager and just putting his schedules and things like that without knowing how long is this character going to take, how many times you have to change it, what are the challenges. So to me, I will give you my description, because that's how I worked, and that's how I work myself, and that's what I believe the successful leads that I had to work with were this way. So it's like you have to be a good character artist, understand art, understand the process, understand how to manage, understand how to solve problems. This is the most important part. So you don't have to know all the applications. If you work for a studio, as an example, and they're saying, okay, our lead artist should know how to use, Substance Designer. Substance Designer is usually for material artists. They create the materials and give it to the rest of the team, right? But if you have someone who can understand how to solve problems and learn, a lead like that will figure out a way to use Substance Designer. So that's another skill. It's a complicated skill set. It's a complicated position, because you have to know a lot of things. You have to understand art direction. You have to understand colors. You have to understand a lot of things. That's why someone like Rafael Grassetti can become art director after being a lead character artist. He has the skill set. He understands colors, right? So it's not just about management, but most of the time it's about the time is for me was like this. Besides like working, I work on a bunch of characters myself. I help the team. I as a lead, helping outsource team to learn and things like that. But at the same time, it's important to manage in a way, basically to figure out a way to set their schedules in a way to deliver and increase the quality and so on. And it's a job that you need to understand art and management at the same time, and some business. So
got it.
Yeah.
But in some time, do you have to create a pipeline, or the pipeline is already created?
Depends on the studio. But when you're the lead, you can change it. I mean, sometimes the studios are like, no, we don't want to change anything. That's it. You just work as a lead and manage the time, right? But if you can actually do the quality, improve the quality, or come up with a pipeline that can deliver faster work, use all the tools you have, work with different outsource teams. Maybe you can use the same geometry on a bunch of characters. Maybe you can make modular characters. You can come up with pipelines, right? That's your responsibility. And it's not easy because you're on the spot all the time. You're under pressure from above, from your peers and your team, and it's a hard position.
As a lead characters, what do you seek in the people that will work with you, the people that will be managing? Like technical skills is more important than art skills, or be a professional is
be a professional. So here's the thing: the misconception is people can go to game studios and do whatever they want, make any character they want. When you work in a studio, you have to do what the lead says.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to do what the lead says because it's his responsibility or her responsibility. That's the position. Like you can't just go there. I mean, I'm working on a project now, right? If I see something, I'll say it, but it's not up to me, and I don't take it personal. It's about doing the work the way they want it. That's it, right? So if a character doesn't look good, it doesn't look good to you. Maybe it's good for the project. That's what the lead wants. If you see issues, technical issues, you can always raise the issues. Or if the lead comes to you and says, okay, we need to fix the side of the model. It doesn't look good. It's not clean. The lore is bad. Don't question it like, oh, why is it bad? Why do you want to, can't you, you can say, okay, sure. Yeah, I can do that. So what I'm saying is these are the issues. I can fix those. So, there are ways that you can communicate to make it professional, right? You can say, okay, so this is what we need to do. Can I know what's the reason so I can avoid it next time to understand what's behind the pipeline after this so I can keep in mind for the future characters or whatever. It's an understanding, right? It's not your personal project. It's not your personal work to decide whatever and say, oh, why do you want to change it? Oh, it's good to me. It's good to you, but it's not working for the project. So if you're working with a lead, just understand, or not. It doesn't matter if you're working with a lead. If you're working on a project, just understand this is not your project. Do your best because you want to have quality work. But at the same time, you have to make sure that you're giving them what they want to get. It's like a product. If I want to buy a car, I go to Tesla. I want to buy this car, right? If it doesn't match my standards, then I'm going to be like, okay, I'm not going to buy this. But they're not going to change the car for me, right? I'm going to go to another showroom and buy another car.
That's a good example.
Yeah.
So if you are going to hire lead character artist, I think as I understood, the most important skills is communication. Besides, of course, you have to be professional. You have to know the whole process, but very good communication skills, right?
Yes, communication. There's also so it's like this. Maybe you haven't worked with a game engine like Unreal Engine, but you made your character for your portfolio inside Marmoset Toolbag, right? It's not a problem because if you can show to them that you're ready to learn, you're open to ideas, you're pushing yourself. That's what they interview you to understand what kind of person you are. Yeah. If you can do that, then the company is going to provide the materials because they're investing in you. It's a form of investment. When a company hires someone, they're investing in that person, right? And also one thing that I think people should understand is lead is not everything in the project. It's part of the team, right?
Sure.
And sometimes people are, I have seen this, they have beef with their lead. They're like, oh, my lead is like this, blah, blah. You don't know what this person is going through dealing with the other managers, art director, studio owner, or, shareholders, big meetings that sometimes they might get involved and they have to explain to the highest guy in the company, this is why I'm doing the characters like this. And they put this person under a lot of pressure. And then it comes to you, tries to, change something, and then you giving the same pressure again. So it's important to understand that you have to work with the lead. Obviously, there are times that you have to deal with really, maybe I want to say like inexperienced leads or not professional enough to understand you, right? And there are situations like that. I had to deal with that myself. That art director was just picky for no reason, and then eventually he realized, and he just like, not any specific company. I'm just one of the examples from years ago. And I was a senior at the time, and he accepted finally, and we became friends again.
That's a very common problem between artists, that they get too much attached to the product, and so they start fight about some detail at some point with some stuff that doesn't really matter to the
because they need to understand this. Look, I mean, I'm doing woodworking now. I can design whatever I want and sell it, right? But if I want to design something for a specific customer, let's say if I turn my woodworking into a business, and if I can make design stuff and sell, if someone is giving me an order, a random person in the street, right, or one of the neighbors, I have to do what they want, not what I want, right? If you go to a restaurant, you say, can I have a steak? They're like, no, a steak is not good. You should eat chicken, right? What do? You just leave that place, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
Or you argue with the person.
You can't go to So you can't go to a studio and tell them, okay, I don't like your game. This is not good. What you should do it like this. I've seen people do this, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. We have a lot of questions here, but I want to choose one that's kind of in this whole point that we're talking about. I have one. That's a lot of people that are now talking.
I can try to answer quickly, and then we can go into details if you want.
Sure, pick one that I'm going to pop up here.
So
we have one about talking about outsourcing. Do you have something to say?
What is the question?
This one.
Oh, you highlight that one.
Yeah.
First, thanks for all. Great. You're welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Question is, what do you think about work with outsourcing the studios and then migrate to full? I mean, so here's the thing. As I said, like I started my career, my profession as a 3D artist, 3D modeler, right? I was not a character artist. There was no character artist when I started. So everything has a start, okay? And if you want to get to the highest level, I think you have to go through each step one step at a time. You can't jump to the highest level in 1 day or 2 days, right? So if you have to work with outsourced studios, do it, because I did it too. It's just about, what is your situation? Do you need money? Do you need work experience? Do you need to improve your work? And one of the things I always say is, your focus should not be on working. If you're new, your focus should be on learning. And that's a mistake a lot of students do. That's a mistake I did at first. You have to gain confidence before you can be someone in the industry. And how you gain confidence is by doing stuff, by increasing your knowledge, by reading, by experimenting, by practicing, by learning. That's how you become more experienced, more confident. When you know more, you become more confident and more humble. That's a natural reaction of a human being. It happens to everyone, right? Whenever you get to a specific level. So my suggestion at first is to focus on your fundamentals, improve your knowledge. Like, you want to be a character artist, really understand how each part of the body work, and then learn how to design, learn how to work, really simplify your art without missing any, important, how do I say, like, let's say you want to design a character. You don't have to make it super complicated, put a ton of detail. It's about, at least that's my experience. It's about putting the right amount of detail and simplifying it and finding the easiest way, fastest way. That's why if you look at the professional artists from the past, it's always the way that they simplify the form. The nose is always a cube. The face is just a cylinder. That's how I sculpt. And that's what I found over the years, that this is the easiest way. Simplify everything. And the simple answer is, if you want to get to the highest level, you have to be good. It's really as simple as that. You have to improve yourself, and you're never going to be the best, right? You can never be the best. There's always someone better than you. There's no best. It doesn't exist. It's just an illusion, right? Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's good to work for anyone that helps you to improve your skill set. The only issue is, if you, let's say you want to come to this industry just because you want to work for a company, when you get a job as a junior or let's say mid-level artist, when you come to this place, yes, you will grow in a team. You will understand how corporations work, the political side, meetings and communication, all that. You're going to get better at it. But there's a chance your art is not going to get a significant change. You know what I mean? Because you're always limited to what the art director says. Your creativity is not going to get improved. It will get improved a bit because depends on the design you're working on. Because it's all about repetition when you work on a design and something. Sure. Like a character, for example, God of War, right? If you haven't done any amazing characters like that before, but when you work on that, you learn a bunch of things that you can use on your personal project. But the thing is, this is what I did. I never worked as a junior character artist. I started as a senior character artist because I pushed myself and I passed that level. Whenever I spoke to a client, any question they had, technical stuff, I could answer it, feel more game. So that automatically put me in the position to become a senior artist. At the time, position was important for me because, it's connected to money. But at a certain time, when you pass it, then it's not your quality of work defines how much you can make and, where you can work. But if you don't focus on that, you might end up working for the same company for a long time and you never improve anything,
Sure.
So
and you always keep studying. That's
as much as and even now, I mean, I can share it here if you want.
Sure, be free.
Let me actually open it. I was actually showing, I was doing a workshop for mentorship for a samurai character. Let me load it so you guys can see.
Yeah.
And on this one, I learned a lot of things because I tried to push my skill set to the next level. You guys see it?
Yeah.
So this is all done in ZBrush. I'm also doing the lowers in ZBrush, and I'm working on new techniques to make all these patterns and details, highers and lowers in ZBrush, and it's just amazing, right? And if I didn't teach, I mean, I kind of leveled up on the technical side and how to make a complicated character like this without stress and without trouble, right? So, when I was teaching again, I worked on this guy, which you were actually asking for it.
Yeah, the bodybuilder.
Yeah. So I put it.
He looks like me, very much.
Looks like you. Let me see if I have the render to show you because you asked for it. Yeah, this is the render, right?
Yeah,
and
nice.
James is actually, he took the model this morning, and he wrapped a geometry he has using Z-Wrap and a texture, so it looks great. And he rendered it. It's not done yet, but I'm trying to finish it, and then I'm gonna put it for sale for production.
Did James unwrap it, or did you unwrap it?
He had the geometry. He had the.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like using Z-Wrap and ZBrush, right? Yeah.
Okay. So the base mesh changed.
He had the base mesh. So you can actually morph this into another character or use a different texture for the whole body to make it look interesting, right? So that's what I'm focusing on. Besides teaching, and I'm trying to learn more stuff. I'm trying to improve my, I did this. It's not done, but
demo.
I had to censor
that's become
some parts.
Something. That's become something very common among artists now. I mean, always pushing the boundaries of the skill and try to maximize the outcome from the time of work, right?
Yeah. So I'm back to myself easier. So so it's all about like improving. And the thing is, I'm not just trying to improve only on the sculpting, because life is not just about that. I actually started piano 4 years ago. I'm practicing less now, but I always say this: it helped me a lot tremendously when I was under stress. And then now I'm actually learning the fundamentals, trying to push myself on that side. And then I bought equipment to start woodworking just for fun, because I mean, why not? If I can have fun with it, I should do it.
Yeah, music helps a lot. Yeah,
music, woodworking, any type of creativity.
Yeah.
If you have the chance to do it, I think you should.
Rafa,
do it.
Rafa, show your drums.
Yeah, they're back in there.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We have a band before the pandemic times. We're trying to do a Motorhead band. Three guys,
Cool.
just trying.
Yeah.
And just as you showed your ZBrush model, let's get this one. How far do you go for a real-time model? I don't know if it's what Wendell actually mentioned, but I know that are as my pipeline. I don't do all the micro details in ZBrush. I do on Substance Painter. I don't know if exactly this what you mentioned.
So if it's I'll show you again.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a body, it's just let me actually load it again. It's basically you don't need to do the pores and stuff because I mean you don't have to because usually they scan bodies.
Yeah.
Right. So for this guy, this is as far as I go with the details. I don't need to put any crazy details on anything because everything else is going to be textured. It's already detailed enough. What else can I do on this, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what.
And
else
about the pores, you have if it's more real time, you can do it in the shader or real or not.
Let me see if I have this open.
That's Rise. Awesome
I was
question.
playing with. Yeah, sorry. I was playing with Marmoset last night.
Nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean about how do you plan your work based on the end use? I mean, if you're going to a game engine, you think the things one way, and if it's going to a cinematic, you're taught the whole process.
Everything is going to the game engine these days. I mean, Unreal Engine is going to give you a very high quality work. I was just testing this. It's not that interesting right now. But this has a lot of poor details, right? Even on the sculpt.
Right.
So this is all coming from the sculpt and the texture. I think I need to turn off the.
So it's all baked.
Right now this is the high res, but you can see this is the low res. It doesn't make a difference. It's the same. Oh no.
Yeah.
You just have to do this. So this is the low res, and this is the high res. High res is a bit more, more defined. You can see better. Actually, if I turn off the normal, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean, it's not anything special. I was just playing with it. So
very beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, depends on the situation. If you're making a head, you're not making anything because it's going to be a scan, and then after the scan, that's what they do. They use the scan, extract the textures, and just clean up the stuff. It's more like a labor than art, for sure.
Yeah.
Very nice. Marcos Brito is from Inside Z, grande abraço aí para ele. I love the way you think, Siamak. Work is work. You get the money, live good. Not spread love and art. This you need to do your personal jobs. Yeah.
Work is work.
He talked about up here about your teaching. That's another word to talk about. So you have a good way to explain. That's a very important skill for a teacher, And when you're talking about pipeline, it got harder to explain, and you got a good way to explain. So
there's that question, and there's another one about anatomy. We can answer those. So go ahead. Sure. What was that? I used to watch some of your videos. Can you talk more about it? About what? About art or?
I'm
not sure what.
I didn't get the question. But we can use this kind of question to talk.
I think I answered it on the way. Like I was work job is. Yeah, I mean, art is. So art. This is what I can tell you, man. It's complicated because when you are working as a character artist, you're not selling your art. It has nothing to do with your art. Maybe some, because you're good enough to execute the idea, the concept into a 3D character, right? So that's a skill set. But if you're not designing a character for a production, and if it's not exactly what you want to do, then it's just work. You know what I mean? So that's how I think about it. My personal projects have nothing to do with any project that I worked on, except this Samurai Armor, which I worked on a game similar to this.
Mm-hmm.
But again, the way I did this is completely different than what I did. It's just my own pipeline. It's very different. It's a method that I use to teach everything in ZBrush. Or if I show you another one, let me show you ArcStation.
Sure.
Let me open it. Hold on a second before you switch. Sorry for the silence.
No
so
problem.
If you look at this has nothing to do with anything that I worked on, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with anything that I worked on. And this was just a feeling I had. I turned my feeling into a creature. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, anatomy, some design, some anger, some a strength, some confidence, a lot of things. It's a design. Or this one, I never worked on anything like this for any production, right?
Yeah,
it's my own personal work, right? Or even this one, I did a collaboration with Jeremy XYZ before. This is like long time ago, 2012. He was at the time like we worked on this. I made the character in texture. He did the render in Arnold, and this is a long time ago. So it's not. I didn't do any projects like this, right? And if you look at my paid projects, they're completely different, right? Look, I mean, I made this guy. This little guy and a bunch of other characters.
And you edit on your portfolio.
Why not?
This is cool.
It's nice.
I think this is cool. Yeah.
It's a good work. Or if you go to my Instagram, if it opens, internet is fast here usually.
Cute dog.
I mean, this is what I did for my class. This is my students' work. Right, and this is my work. We were working on it, so I was explaining, and then he did this similar design, similar work to learn the process.
Very nice.
And if you look at this one, anatomy, I have more work, but I don't share everything. I do a lot of sketches for fun, and I mean that's what I call art. To be honest with you.
Yeah, whip jobs is what turn your portfolio more interesting. I think. I think
I don't know.
I think like no, of course it have to be a nice job in the end of the thing. Your whip jobs are beautiful to watch. That's what I mentioned.
Thanks, man. So there was a question about
this one.
Yeah.
Concept art is you mentioned this on the beginning of your first video about Checker pipeline. You mentioned about concept art.
Yeah, so he's asking, or in general, need to learn more technical things and not just creation.
Just creation.
Oh, you mean to work as a concept artist? As a concept character? I mean, depends. We tell the Bulgarov is a concept designer, right? And he has his own studio now. But he knows the pipeline, he knows the process. I mean, as I said, it's not always doom and gloom. There is no job that is always fun. That doesn't exist. That's a dream that doesn't exist. It's not reality. Life is all about like up and down. So you can't, even if you're a concept artist, you'll do some technical stuff that you hate. That's the reality of life. There's no way that you can have everything you want. So this is something that people need to understand. This is basically, I don't mean that to say this to the person who asked the question, but in general, as human beings, we have ego, and that ego makes us to want only what we want, right? And that's a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't call it a mistake. I don't know. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's wrong to me that it's good to show your work and show your progress and improve, but always looking for attention or always looking for doing exactly what you want to do, it's going to put you in a spot where you're going to stay alone forever. when you live in a society, you need to look at what the society wants you to do. If you're just doing art, you need to figure out a way to sell your art, So the technical side is important. If you're doing concepts, I think you need to know how to design something that the company wants or the client wants, and you need to know technical stuff.
Even if you are a concept artist, just the fact that you know the pipeline may you can have the tools or concept in a way that you don't screw the next guy in line. I mean, you're not doing something very fancy that the rigger will
that's a communication thing, right? So if you work in a team, a concept artist always works with the lead character artist or the character team, or with the rigging team. So it's a collaboration. When you get a model from the concept team, it's not always going to be good, and you have to change the stuff. That's why it's called character artist. Or you have to have ideas to share. Say, okay, this is not going to work for this reason, and this is what I'm proposing. Or if you want, I can propose something that I think could work. And that's why the older I get, the more I work in the production. Like this job, I have zero issues. It's different because I'm working independent. I know them. It's a great team. There are people with a lot of experience. They went through a lot of good and bad, and everyone knows exactly how they should work to make things work. But
that's important.
Yeah, the reality is, basically, you work in a team. So I forgot my first point. Sorry. I'm looking at the questions. There was another question. I just wanted to remember that. But
he was asking about the concept, but you move it on.
Yeah, I mean, concept is you have to. If you're a concept artist, you have to work as a concept artist, and again, there will be technical stuff.
Yeah, when I remember you can.
And by the way, everything I say is not absolute, right? It's what I experienced. But someone else's experience could be different. Someone else could come and say, no, he's wrong. It's like this. There's no one answer to everything. So I could be wrong.
No problem. Yeah, and you mentioned a lot. You divided, you split the three pipelines. You have a hero, as you mentioned on your videos. That's a more difficult pipeline because it has sometimes some facial expressions. And NPC, you have some maybe it's a base scan. It's more like a base scan mesh, and we have creatures, monsters. And you mentioned a lot about this. What you were mentioning about concept art. Maybe the concept artist can ask something different, and the artists have to be prepared for this. I'm just adding, not question, not making a question.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I understand. There was a question about anatomy, right? Anatomy is
anatomy,
human anatomy. Do you have some tips to get better results when you study anatomy? Better tips is you can't get good at it in 6 months or 1 year. That's the tip I can give. So if you want to become good at anatomy, you have to practice. You have to work on each part of the body. You have to, because every part has their own muscles, tendons, fat, bones, and you have to sculpt each one of these parts hundreds of times until you get used to it, right? And then you learn how to sculpt better and better over time. That's how your brain works. Honestly, I don't suggest to anyone to study anatomy or things like that for more than 3-4 hours a day, because that's the limitation of the brain. When I practice music, 3 hours maximum, and then after that it's just whatever. I play something. You can't. Your brain. This is scientific. Your brain cannot learn more than 3 to 4 hours a day. That's the maximum capacity. And then you have to sleep. It's gonna make new neural pathways and solidify the information, and then you move on. Next day you become better. But to study anatomy, it's like, what I can say is this. That's what I teach in my classes too. You have to study each muscle, biceps, triceps, extensor digitorum, digiti minimi. What is digiti minimi? What does it do? what is extensor digitorum, what does it do, flexor digitorum, you know, all that, you know, what is coracobrachialis. So the reason I think that everyone should understand each one of the muscles is because when you understand the muscle, you know the movement, then you expect exactly how to work, or what are the limitations you have, you know. And some people don't know, like, for example, scapula actually rotates around our rib cage, right? And you can only know it if you understand how this moves, how your arm moves, what is it connected to, where is your humerus bone, you know, how is the connection between humerus, scapula, and your clavicle? How is it all connected together? How is it that you can move your arm and then go all the way to the top? You can't actually move your arm all the way to the top. This is the maximum. You have to rotate it and then go up, right? So if you don't understand the motions, if you don't understand the muscles, the name of the muscles, what is each one doing, you have to study it, man. It's like anatomy. I can actually compare it to music, playing piano. If you sit in front of the piano, you can't play anything, and you cannot expect to play Chopin or Mozart the next day. It's going to take you minimum 3 years. I'm telling you, minimum 3 years to be able to play a Chopin piece properly. The easiest one. And it's going to take you. Yeah, but the good thing is this. It's hard at first, but after 10 years, you can play anything you want. It's the same thing with anatomy, right?
Yeah.
This is the hard stuff to tell to a student.
If
10 years.
Yeah, I will simplify it. I'll simplify it. Let me actually hold on a second.
No problem.
But you're right. When you start to understand how the volumes of the muscle works, and where they contracts and where they extends, you don't need to revise every time all the muscles, because in overall you can understand what's happening. So when you move for a quick,
it's better to. So when you understand anatomy, I'm not the best anatomy artist. I can tell you that. Like he says, I understand. But I don't, because I haven't done many characters in movement. I studied static anatomy mostly, right? I did some movement, but it's not as good as I want them to be. I have to practice to get there. But this is what I wanted to show you quickly. So this is the curve of life. Let's say learning. You're starting here. So I'll just draw this.
Yeah,
this is 0.
Use paint too.
Time. Yeah, right. And then here is your, actually, this is not time. This is growth. This is time, right?
Sure.
So you start here, you go slowly, and nothing happens after 3 years, right? And then you go forward, something happens after 6 years. And then you go forward, nothing, it's almost there. And then on here, 10, 11, you just suddenly go up like this. This is the graph of life. This is Fibonacci sequence. So this happens on everything, as I noticed, because this is how growth happens. The accumulation of a lot of things. And usually it's like, you know, it goes straight, doubles. Look, I mean, it's a double game, right? Everything is a double game. So let me make a new screenshot. So let's say you start, it's nothing, right? And then you double this, it comes here, right? And then you double this, it comes here, right? It's not much change, right? But look, how much change do you get if you double this?
Yeah. I think it doesn't believe in talent too,
right? There is a lot of things, man. There's talent. I don't know if talent exists.
That's a difficult topic.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that, because I mean, maybe because I struggled with math, but I was good at geometry. I was very good at geometry. Like I never studied geometry, and I was always like, my grade was good. But you know, mathematics, like algebra or differentials and other type of mathematics, I was bad at it. And I studied math and physics, by the way, at a school. And you know, but honestly, now when I think about it, if I want to study math, I can do it. I can get good at it, because I learned a technique that lets me to fix really complicated patterns. My wife the other day came to me. She's in financial sectors, there was a question about finance, and it was a lot of mathematics, which was weird to calculate some percentage. I have no clue what this is, right? And we sat down for an hour, and I fixed it because I knew. I learned how I can solve problems. No matter what the situation is, I figured out a way, and I realized that this is what inventors like how to say, like Da Vinci or Thomas Edison, those people actually came up with all the technical. So I was like, okay, if I can do this, then it means I can do other things. So it's about you can say talent exists. I don't know actually, because this actually puts everything under magnet and questions everything. Because if I wasn't good at mathematics, but now I can decide to learn, and I can learn if I want to, that means I was biased and I chose art because I wanted to be an artist, because I had more fun with it. So that became my talent, and I worked hard on it. Right? I mean, I don't know if I have
persistence.
I worked hard on it, and I pushed, and I didn't give up, and that turned into what it is today. And it's nothing crazy. There's a lot of amazing artists out there. I don't know why you guys interviewing me, but
stop it.
It's just you have to have fun with it. It's not about talent if you have fun with it. I never did woodworking in my life, right? I bought equipment, table saw, planers, different woods, and I made a cutting board. It's super clean. Like, if you see it, you won't believe that a beginner woodworker made something like this. Because I learned how to process the learning process, right? And I used my skills from 3D and being picky on certain things and understanding how to calculate. This is something people will learn over time. It's just like you have to work and keep going. That's the only way. It's like someone who becomes rich, right? There was a guy. He said this. I forgot who this person was. I was watching his video the other day, but I don't remember. A few weeks ago, actually. I think it was Jordan Belfort. He said, maybe, I don't know, Wolf of Wall Street.
Jordan Belfort, yes.
Probably him, I'm not sure. He said, if you take all the money I have, I'll become rich again. It's guaranteed. In 3 years, I'll become rich. That's
in your mind. You learn it.
That's a skill set, right? I'm not rich yet. But that's actually one of the questions I have. Can I become super rich if I want to? And I'm trying to figure out the answer for that. If I can come up with ideas to get rich while providing value, because that's a question. I'm happy with my life. I don't know if I need more, but it's always good to answer questions. And the only way to answer questions is to do them, to figure out a way to do it.
Yeah.
When you learn how to learn properly, you have no limits, no boundaries.
No, exactly. Think about it this way. It's since humanity has started, actually, there is no beginning, right? It's just gradual change. If you're religious, it's a different story. But if you believe in evolution and the science, then it's another story. So I'm into science. No offense to religious people. It's what they choose, and it's fine.
No problem.
Yeah, because some people are like, no, religion is wrong. It's all science. I don't believe in that. It's just whatever you want as a person. That's your answer. And,
this is personal. Yeah,
it's personal. So if you go back in time in human history, the first thing humans did, they started walking on two legs. That was the first thing to do. It was hard, but they did it, right? Because they had to, since there was deforestation, like the forests were actually getting destroyed, and more flat grounds with high grass and stuff. It was more common in nature, so they had to come to the ground and figure out a way to walk so they can stand up and look for, safety, or see if any predators are coming to attack them, and so on, right? And then this freed their hand as a form of creature, and they started making tools with it, which is happening again on other species of hominids, another type of monkeys. They're actually learning how to use wood. They're cutting wood. It's funny, like to hunt, or breaking stuff with stone. Making stone tools. So they're in the Stone Age area of where we were back then, right? So imagine accumulation of everything is slowly helped us to be where we are today. It didn't happen overnight. So, I mean, I think it's an interesting thing. It's not about talent only. It's about playing the long-term game instead of just wanting everything tomorrow. And that's a mistake everyone is doing when they come to this art industry. They want to become a good character artist in 6 months. I can tell you that it's going to take you 10 years to master the game. And when you master the game, you know that you know nothing. Okay, if you have ego and if you think you're the best, you haven't mastered the game yet. That's the reality of it.
That's what I love. You asked why we are intervening you. That's why you have some philosophical stuff to say. That's very nice. That's very nice. As we were saying about talent, I must say what my opinion. I always say to my students, independently if it exists or doesn't exist, don't you bother about it. You know, we always have a friend who about drawing. He's very good in drawing. You know, he's always practicing in getting better in draw.
Yeah.
You know, but us, we got a little bit jealous. Oh, that's easy to him. He draws very, very, very good. You know, so you doesn't practice enough because he's better than you. So we are always comparing ourselves. It doesn't matter. We don't need to compare ourselves.
You know, competition is good, but up to a point. Competition is good. You know, when Raf is posting something, I'm like, damn, that's so good. Maybe I should try to make something as good. You know, at least I can try. It's not competing to say I'm better than Raf. This guy doesn't know. What did you do? You know, it's just
you
like
can't compare yourself. Just don't stop studying.
Exactly. And I'm not even comparing myself with him or anyone, right? Because I'm not him. I'm not anyone else. I'm me. And I'm happy with what I am. That's all I want. And can I change myself to become better a bit tomorrow? You know, can I learn something today? That's the important part, you know, as someone who is trying to grow. I think comparing or competing, I don't know, competition is good up to a point that helps you to learn. But if you want to beat someone else and be the best, go read about Bernini. You know, he was as good as Michelangelo, but no one. I didn't know about him until I was like 25. I'm like, who's this guy? He's better than Michelangelo.
Younger people are getting smarter.
Yeah.
Damn them. Yeah. I'm jealous of you or about you because you got to interview your great friend Mike Nash, and he said a lot of good things about this, about comparing ourselves, about anxiety. You know, that he was a great guy.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
Yeah.
That's after.
Sorry to mention him.
No, it's good. After he passed, so the impact he had on me was hard.
Yeah.
And that's why I stopped for a while to record his stuff, because I was questioning everything.
Yeah,
I was questioning the meaning. He was the best. You know, he was. When I said the best, as I said, the best doesn't exist, but he was. Come on, like 2008, he was making his stuff that I was like, is it real?
Yeah.
What the hell is this? That's
a
weird.
Surface.
How is he doing this?
Yeah.
Right?
He and Fausto De Martini, I think. They were the best.
Mike was very, very smart. Very smart. Like I can tell that he was a smart guy, and no one knew that he was working on cars. I think no one knew that he could make cars. Yeah, you know, him and his dad doing stuff on cars and modding cars and things like that. He was very good, but you know, when we were talking the last few months, he was tired, he was stressed, and he wanted to just move on, do something else. You know, that's another reality, because if I want to talk about game industry, the mortality rate, it's actually high. I'm not talking about death, but mostly about like people coming and leaving the industry. And you know, the suicide rate is high among artists. There's a lot of factors that people should understand before jumping in, because you have to have a plan long term, 20 years, 30 years.
Sure.
You know, I didn't know about everything myself when I jumped in. The stress is high. I definitely don't want to get that much of stress. That's why I'm keeping this contract right now. It's amazing. I don't have any stress. It's funny. Like I gained my confidence back. I'm feeling good. I'm doing the work. It's just
that's great.
It's a normal life, you know.
Yeah.
But with Mike, he was tired, man. Like
yeah,
he didn't commit suicide when I say this, but you know, for those who don't know, he was anxious. He had anxiety and stress. So he took the medication, and one of them was actually the wrong one, and it slowly stopped his liver, and he passed out, and he never woke up, unfortunately.
That's very bad. Yeah. Well, that's good that he leave his legacy, his videos.
Yeah.
That helps a lot. It helped me. I had a burnout recently. That helped me a lot about talking. As you said, reflect about yourself. You know, about are you getting tired? And we got tired. This area, studying this area, planning to get better, it gets us very, very tired. You know.
I mean, if I want to say something, it's
sure, please.
I'm more into like questioning why do we live, you know, more philosophical side of it, because when you gain the personal things you gain, the fame, you know, all of that makes no sense at the end. It's just whatever, you know. It doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't mean anything. Or when you work on a project, when you're done, it's done. And then after the game ships or the film comes out, everyone forgets about it. No one knows who's the character artist, right? So the question is, you should do whatever you need to do to make your life fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You have to be happy, man.
Yeah, you have to be happy. Chasing. My reason that I moved to the United States was freedom. My reason was freedom. It wasn't to work for game studios. But I happened to see that my freedom is connected to gaming studios, and I found that that's the opportunity, and I'm still working at it, right? Or teaching the other people to come into this industry. But it's not about I worked on this game and look at me, I'm the best artist. Well, I mean, what's the meaning of life when you think about it that way? Who cares? You know, it doesn't mean
the
anything.
journey, right?
Yeah, the process. You know, the does it help you to enjoy life? Are you traveling? Are you, you know, helping your family grow? Are you making your wife happy, your kids happy, your parents happier? Are you seeing good friends? You know, are you, you know, good friends? Like, does it connect you to people that you can enjoy talking to? Mike was one of the people that I enjoyed talking to.
Yeah.
And, you know, I didn't know him for a long time, only 7 months, but we were talking almost every day. And I think, even though I was supposed to figure out a way to help him to move to USA, he wanted to move. You know, like maybe we wanted to think about a business idea to do something together and things like that. We were talking about it, but it wasn't there yet. And but that connection was the purpose. I don't know Mike because of his work. I knew him because of his work, but when I know him personally, that makes it different. I know Mike because of Mike. You know, because I enjoy talking to this guy. Raf is the same. I know Raf since 2008. We were not so close. And, you know, time to time I messaged him or because his work is good. And then he got better and better and better. And, you know, now he has a lot of followings. But, you know, when I interviewed him the first time, that conversation I forgot about his work because I enjoyed the type of conversation we had. I didn't care how many followers he has. And I don't care. That's not how you value people, you know. The second time we spoke, it got better. Like I enjoyed the conversation more. I think if people watched it, it was even better than the first one. I think.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know. You have to enjoy the moments, the process. You know, I have a lot of good memories and bad memories in the industry from the beginning. You know, companies not paying my money, or you know, having to deal with bad managers, or you know, baggage stabbing, a lot of crap, you know. Yeah, but all of those made me the person that I am today. And I don't mean like I'm good or bad or anything. For me, I know myself better than 20 years ago, better than 15 years ago, better than 5 years ago. I know what I want to do, right? Like I started doing woodworking because I enjoy doing this. I figured out, you know, it's funny because I was watching woodworking videos for a long time. And then one day I was like, I have a garage. Why am I not doing this? It doesn't make sense. I bought the most expensive saw. It cost me an arm and a leg, and it's just it's fun. Like now it's a bit hot now. Today. I'm also a bit not feeling so well. I'm gonna go see the doctor after here. But yeah, but every weekend I'm trying to do something with that, So I think chasing stuff is not good. If you chase anything, it should be your how do I say it? Like, what makes you happy in life? I hear this all the time. People say, I wish I worked in this studio. Yeah, that's good. It's a process, but it's not everything, I help my students to get a job. I help them to increase their rate. I help them to, find a better job, connect them to other people and things like that. But you have to have a good understanding of the whole life. And life is not just about monitors and cameras and keyboard. This is not life, man. Like, if you can do this 24/7, you're going to die after 25 years,
Marcos is asking Siamak show some book work that he did.
I didn't do much. I just made let me see if I have. I just made nothing crazy. I'm working on stuff. It's complicated. It's a lot of tools, and I have to buy one by one. I made a cutting board, but I don't know how to show my Instagram stories. Where is it? I don't know how to do this.
Where is it?
I believe this is a common movement. I happened to pass the same thing. I start to work with leather work.
Oh,
since I can't stand any more monitors and stuff and programming. So
because it's not real,
manual.
It's not real. This is us. We are human beings. There's nothing wrong with that. We started making stuff since the Stone Age. You can't change that. It's in our DNA. When it's digital, it's not real until you can. That's why 3D printing is becoming more popular. People want real stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So, I'm saying this, but I hope people don't get it the negative way. It's just talking about the balance. Talking about the meaning of life. I don't know if you guys read the book from Viktor Frankl. Do I have it here?
This name is.
It's not a strange name.
The bells are bing. No, the bells are bing. Bells are ring.
Man's Search for Meaning. I lost the name for a second. All right,
problem.
This one. Let me
From
share.
Who the Beltos? That's what we were thinking about, Daniel. No.
This one. You don't have to change the camera. You can see it. Viktor Frankl.
Viktor Frankl.
Yeah, Man's Search for Meaning. So this guy was in Auschwitz. He was in a camp for 4 years, I believe. And the worst tortures ever. And he survived. He got freed by Allied forces eventually, and he lived. And a lot of his friends in the Auschwitz camp died in the worst way possible, but he survived because he created something in his mindset to stay alive for it, And they can. I think this is what he said. They can take everything from you, but they can't take away your thoughts, or they can't. They can take your freedom. Yeah, like the way you think and stuff, no one can take that away from you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we can talk more about philosophical stuff, but we can answer some questions.
Yeah.
I can't lose my night here talking about that kind of stuff.
That's a second. We can do a second interview about this. Pick one, man, and we can do maybe one or two final questions to not stay longer.
What is the best way to improve and present our portfolio to apply for a position? Also, too.
Where do you find
this? This is the thing that I don't like. Improving your portfolio to apply for a position. What makes you happy? Because look, studios now, they use a scan. They just need you to clean a scan, and then you just use the same texture, do some adjustments, learn how to put it in the engine. That's it, right? And then you need to learn how to make cloth, which you can use Marvelous Designer. You need to learn how to make armors, right? So so the general answer is, if you want to work for Blizzard, you have to have a portfolio similar to Blizzard.
Yeah.
But is that what you want to do for your entire life? Do you want to work for Blizzard forever? Is that your purpose of life? Is that your purpose to just make characters specifically for Blizzard, that style? Or Are you an artist that you want to express your own feeling, your own unique design? There are, like, if you go to ArtStation, there are so many good artwork, but the majority of them are similar. You know what I mean? They're not unique, and because they're not expressing themselves. They're trying to just do something to match someone else's style to find a job in a studio because they have that style. That's not unless that's not the right purpose. Unless if you really have to, like my situation was this. I had to move out of my country, but even then, I didn't do anything because I wanted to impress the studios. I did everything because I enjoyed doing it. This guy that I showed you. Let me open again.
How many monitors do you have?
I have 2. The camera is here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get more, so because I need 2 more maybe there.
Yeah, like Lucius Fox from Batman. I need them.
Yeah, probably. So I did this because I wanted to make something. I enjoyed the Mafia story, God of War. Sorry, Godfather. What God of War? God of War is another story. I love God of War too. Godfather, the 1920s mafias. There's something, because I know a lot of Iranian guys, they like the story of mafia. Godfather. All those.
La Cosa Nostra.
I mean, I read a lot. Not read. I listened to a lot of podcasts and stuff about mafia. Not anymore, but this was one of the interests I had in the past. And I met this guy. He's a mafia, right? And whatever. And I enjoyed doing this. I didn't know if this is going to give me a job. I didn't know if this is going to, give me any awards. I didn't know if it's going to be top row. I didn't know if the studios are going to check the ZBrush file and say it's bad. It's not good anymore. I don't like it when I look at it, but it's a piece of history. This is something I enjoyed doing at the time, and it doesn't have to be the best thing ever, right?
It's for your own pleasure,
Yeah, and I because that's how I could express my feelings, and I got a lot of awards for this one, and this piece changed my life. I can tell you that. Then again, I did this one because I wanted to make some portrait. I was looking at the technical side, and I tried the render on this one is better, right? Everything is more interesting, lighting and everything. But it didn't get as many awards, or no one paid as much attention to this one, even though he's a well-known football player and he died in Afghanistan, U.S. Army by mistake, friendly fires, right? And I mean, this got more attention comparing to that one. Sure. Why? Because I expressed my feelings, And same with like I did this piece. It was just sculpting and learning, adding a lot of details. It didn't get as much attention as this one, as an example. Yeah. Everyone is like, "Oh, this is amazing! You did a great job!" Blah blah blah. Or I don't know. I have this one too. It's on my YouTube channel. I showed how to, but this is for fun, again. And I enjoy anatomy, right? Like every time I share something with a bodybuilder body, everyone is like sharing it and liking it and so on. Not as much as the top amazing artists out there, but I can see that they enjoy those more comparing to whenever I wanted to do something because I wanted to get a job.
Sure.
No one is saying anything about these or about these. No one is saying anything about, I don't know, like. It's just.
It calls attention. It calls attention. It pops your eyes when you see a feeling.
That's the thing. So you have to express yourself in a way, and there are so many studios out there. One of them will hire you because of your style. One of them is going to hire you because of your experience. But here's the thing: if you want to just let's say I want to work for Blizzard and I'm going to try my best. There's like 200,000 people, they want to work for Blizzard and they're doing the same thing. How much chances you have to get hired by Blizzard? 0, almost, in that situation. So that's all the things people need to keep in mind. You can't just pick and choose. You have to choose what you want, not where I don't know, like which studio. Because that's what they want. They want you to do. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's like you have to pick your strategy to get to that level to be able to get a job, right? And then once you get in, it changes. The game changes. You know people. You have a portfolio piece. You understand how the environment works. You can connect to recruiters. You find connections, and then you get jobs easier and easier.
Very nice. Let's pick on maybe a final question right here.
There's a question. There's a couple of questions. How do you? I don't know. Do you want to highlight it? It's up to you.
Yeah, choose one.
How do you keep up to date with the technical process? I just update myself every time I have to do something. I don't have to use Unreal Engine. If I have to use it, I will learn how to use it. Simple as that. That's how you learn how to learn. If I have to write a shader, I'll figure out how to do coding, and then I'll write a shader. Because you can't keep all these information up to date, right? That's why you have to learn how to learn. So if you need it, you can just learn it. So it doesn't affect my artistic. My artistic side is always there, right? And I'm learning woodworking now. If I want to learn how to make a dovetail and or box joint or whatever, and to make a furniture, I don't know how to do it now. But when it comes to that, I'm gonna study it and I'm gonna learn it. It's gonna take me 2 days, but I'm gonna do it. You know. But the thing is, you have to, if you want to keep it up to date or stay good at it, you have to keep your skills sharpened, right? Like if I want to become the best dovetail maker, I have to do it every day for many years. I can't do that. I don't have that time. So, yeah. What was the next one?
The next one. We have one about art education. We have one about job opportunity oppression. This one.
How did you change from a hard surface? Because I like character art. It's a simple question. I wanted to be a character artist. I wanted to do anatomy, right? I like modeling hard surface. I mean, I have an armor. Let me see if I can load it to show.
Yeah, I like it, but I don't add it on the portfolio.
Yeah, I mean, I have anatomy. I have. Let me actually load this guy. Hold on a second.
Sure.
And I'm just loading it. One of the things. Well, this is hard surface and characters together mixed. I enjoyed working on this one, and it's a piece of history. There's a lot of, historical stuff in it. I had to study each piece and so on, right? Or if you look at this guy.
How many subtitles does the samurai has?
Yeah, that one is crazy. Yeah. Or this one, I did it for another mentorship. I designed it on the go. No concepts. That's how I work.
Yeah.
And this was the bodybuilder I made. I used it and changed it to this. So that was the thing. I was teaching anatomy and then how to make armors in ZBrush. So my hard surface skill set helped me to make a clean armor.
Very nice. Very nice. Z modeler, right?
Yeah, Z modeler. I can actually make it cleaner if I want to. Just add a bunch of edge loop here.
Nice.
So, I mean, if I render this quickly, you'll see. So this is hard surface, and
yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah, it's clean.
Yeah,
I work like that because I like to see cleaner stuff. I don't like it when topology is messed up and all over the place.
Sure.
So that's. I think it's important. It helped me to work clean and also fast and whatever, So it's a good skill set to have.
Let me change it here.
What is the important inspiration when you're doing stuff? Do you feel you have to be inspired to make good work?
This is my student, Carolini. Beijão, Carol.
Inspired? What is inspired? Like inspired for what? That's
inspired for pay the bills. That's
that's what I'm inspired. I'm inspired. I mean, my pocket is actually very deep. It doesn't get filled. So so the more green paper you give me, the more inspired I am. I mean, no, it's inspired. I don't know. Inspired is to me. Inspired is like Rafa Grasset is inspiring. James Bosby is inspiring.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
He's changing everything, the James.
Yeah. So
big contribution.
Yeah, and the inspiration is when you can change something, when you can do something big, and it's not about I'm doing something for myself, like Elon Musk, right? He's an inspiration.
Yeah.
He's doing something different, but can I use his mindset, his way of growing for myself to grow, to do something, to enjoy my life? My inspiration is this, man. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy life. I want to have freedom. I want to have control. That's my inspiration. When I see a piece of art, that doesn't inspire me. I enjoy it, but it's not inspiring to me. It's just a piece of art. It's amazing. Michelangelo, right? It's the best. I admire it. I love the history of it. I imagine where was he when he was sculpting David? How did it look? What are the things that he went through? I want to put myself in that time. But it's not going to change my life. So, I mean, if I go and sculpt what he did on David, if it's not what I want, then there's no inspiration. It's not going to change anything in my life.
Yeah, I like trying to do what Michelangelo did, on marble.
Yeah. I mean, if you enjoy doing marble, do it. But if you're looking for inspiration, then probably you shouldn't do it.
You are looking for stress. That's no Ctrl Z on marble.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, everything I say is based on my own experience. This is how it works for me. It could be different for someone else. And I mean, I was born in Iran. I moved out of Iran. I actually had $800 when I left Iran. No money. Like I had to sleep in the street at some point for 10 days. A lot of trouble, man. Like when I look at it, I'm like, how did I do it? And I don't know how much of it is luck. I don't know how much of it I was lucky to be in a situation to just, hold on to it, or to get an opportunity to move somewhere else. I was so close to go back to my country, at some point, because I lost my job. But I actually found another job, and then my wife found another job, and then our life became better. And then, I didn't like it, and she wanted to quit her job because we didn't like it. We could work there, but it wasn't fun. It was just painful. I hated it every day. I was going to work. I hated it. I didn't want to do it. And, eventually I quit, and we figured out a different way. And then I was going to go to Japan to work for Hideo Kojima. It didn't work because I got, it's the longest story. So, and then I was actually going, like it was very close. It didn't work, but I saw Kojima. I saw him at Sony 5 years later. Or 4 years later. That's weird, right? I mean, that's what life brings to you, right? But in that situation, it didn't work because, you can't control life. Sometimes it's luck. It didn't work for me. Oh my God. Sorry, guys.
That's your inspiration.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting how life goes.
You have no control. Nobody has. So just keep going. And as someone said once upon a time, luck is just the courage to embrace an opportunity. So if you saw something you wanted, just go. And
Tiger
eventually
Woods said that.
Yeah. I don't know.
And someone is saying, do you think studios companies care about your art education? So if he's saying degree, it doesn't matter. No one cares about degree. It's all about what can you do. And the thing is, the only way to become the best at it is if you enjoy doing it, right? And then if you don't enjoy doing it, at some point, you got to find a way to enjoy what you were doing again, or just change it, move to something that you can enjoy, because that's how you can take your life to the next level. But I mean, companies have a lot of rules. There are different companies. You can't make your life based on companies. That's a slavery. You can't live because companies want this or want that. And I mean, and they have rules, but if you just want to follow everyone's rules, then who are you as a person?
You almost answered what Artorius just.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
yeah,
I saw it.
I didn't get it.
No, that's fine. And it's interesting. I want to tell you something because that could give an answer to everything. So think about it this way: when you're born, when you come to this world, you have parents. You don't know anything, right? You're just this weird creature hanging out with parents, drinking milk,
Yeah.
That's it, right? That's the whole world to you as a person. And we don't remember those moments.
No.
And then you grow up, your parents are telling you to do something. Your sister, brother, your friends, you grow up, you go to kindergarten, the same thing, they tell you how to behave. And then you go to the society, they tell you how you should do it, what kind of work you should do, what's wrong, what's not wrong. And then you grow up, you go to school. There are more rules and more limitations. They actually manipulate your brain to make you work specifically the way they think that is right for you to live. Okay, and then you grow up, you go to middle school and then high school and college, and all that is like they're giving you more restrictions. I'm not talking about restrictions. I mean, it's good to tell people, hey, it's wrong to attack someone. It's wrong to use a knife to kill someone, right? Those are basic education. We don't live in the Stone Age anymore. So that has to change. Even though in our DNA, we are aggressive beings. We want to fight. We want to shout. We want to be angry. So the society is changing now, but our DNA hasn't changed completely. But that's why we love UFC, right? Everyone watches UFC and boxing. Yeah, beat the shit out of him, kill this guy. That's fun, and it was the same during the gladiator times, and it was the same even before that, forever, as long as we remember as human beings. But the point is, at a school and society, friends, everyone is telling you what's wrong, what's right. Everyone is trying to teach you something from their own experience, right? And if you always do what they tell you to do, if you always do what companies want, if you always do what your friends are telling you to do, you can't live. You can't live. How do you want to live as a person? Where's you, right? The person inside you, the conscious being that actually exists inside you always tells you what you want, but you always do what others want. Because that's how society trains us. That's why I don't like the education system, because they only teach you to become a slave to the society and to the system. That's why we have only 1% achieving really high positions and degrees and knowledge, because they free themselves from the beginning. They think out of the box. They actually do something else. And I remember when I was young, my parents were telling me, you have to go to university. I didn't. I resisted. I said, I'll live in the street, but I'm not going to go to university. And if I did go to university, I wouldn't be here today. Nothing wrong with university if it's your choice. But you have to know what you want deep inside you as a person. Asking, that's why I don't like I like questions. I don't get me wrong, but I'm like thinking this way, what should I do to get a job in this studio? What should I do to move to this country? Those kind of things is going to only limit you. You can use it for a temporary situation, right? I mean, my situation was in a way that I had to move because I wanted freedom. So I figured out a way. But do I have to do the same thing forever for the next 100 years if I live 100 years?
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, I think that's it, man. I almost got 2 hours from you.
That's good.
I appreciate it very much, man.
No worries.
So that's it, man. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Rafael, too, for helping me.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, guys, for all the guys who made some questions. Who doesn't drop a like, please drop now. Leave on a subscribe, please. That help us a lot.
Yeah, subscribe to his channel.
And subscribe to Siamak this way. For Siamak channel too.
I think everyone is subscribed. They all they watch my videos and stuff.
Yeah. Thank you very much, man. Well, for us it's good night. For you it's good evening.
Yes, it's good evening, and I have to go eat something and do some work and then finish the day.
Thank you very much, man. See you.
Thanks, man. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.